Welcome. Acesup here for PokerNerve. Grinding away. DayWalkers. They're everywhere. And we're not running the best. It's tough. But we shall, like a brave Trojan warrior, battle on. The online grind, the virtual felt. Top left, I'm just going to check call here with the queen. SPR close to one on the turn. I think it's going to be pretty hard to fold here. Having said that, I mean, the boards are really dry. I think we want to value bet here and try and get hands like 10s to call. I don't think he would ever bluff in this spot. I mean, 24. I will isolate bottom right. It's tempting to c-bet bottom middle in the bounty here. I guess I'll check it. Just because we've got two overs with backdoors. And it's a pretty dry, well, dry-ish board. That's a pretty good turn bottom right. I guess I'll just try and get a little bit more value out of some two pairs if he's got like Jack 9 or Jack Queen or something. We'll just have to hope he doesn't have King 10. He has King 10. That is how we're running. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, been tough. Played a couple of satellites for the big ones, the Bounty 162. Couldn't win with an overpair. Last few sessions have been tough. Been a tough few sessions. Been playing for a few hours today. And it ain't been pretty. But we're going to try and turn this around. I've been in the poker hole, as I call it. Haven't been winning the last few sessions. I think I'm going to try and run my hard and get some stats up. I want to start trying to do that a little bit more regularly. See how I've gone this month. I think I'm up about 10k this month. But the last few days have not been profitable. And that's what I call the poker hole. You know what I'm talking about, where you can just feel it somewhere in your brain, somewhere. This bottom left is the situation I was trying to set up, where we can call now, getting 12 to 1, which is fringy, but we cover him, so it's a pretty easy call. Plus the fact that it's pretty unlikely one of these guys is now going to jam. Most of the time they're just going to flat, and we just get great implieds here. I cannot believe these guys did not flat, because they cover the two short stacks here, Cleeth and us. Unfortunately, we don't flop a set and going to fold, but if we had have, we would have just won a bounty and a big pot. So I don't think it's too bad playing it that way. That would have been a nice one to hit. I mean, if it's not a bounty tournament, I'm not sure if I would call. It's pretty fringy, but I think the fact that it is a bounty makes it pretty easy call. Especially in that situation. That's that situation I've talked about recently where like it's almost, I mean, it's not guaranteed, but the chance of Cleith not stacking off there is pretty low. Like, even if he's got ace king on certain board textures, he might even still stack off on, like, if it's like, what do we have? Sixes. If it's like 6, 10 jack, he probably still gets ace king in. Even if it's like, if it comes like 6, 3, 2, he might even still like just c-bet, and then if we raise, just shove ace king, ace king, thinking he's got like, 3-1 odds. Just because the SPR gets so big, especially after he c-bets. So small, I should say. So I check called the backdoor, Gutsa backdoor flush, and he double barrels here, top right. So I think I'm just going to let it go. We are kind of short to continue. This is the Battle Royale 109 buy-in, top middle here. And we are above average. I'm just going to shove the ace jack. Seems pretty standard. We're only like M7.5. And I do have to report that I have a toothache. And I do not like the dentist. I think poker players do not like the dentist. I'd go as far as to say we hate the dentist. Especially MTT players. Not only does just no one just like the dentist because it hurts, but the problem is that to see a dentist is hard because like it's hard to get the time you want, and if you do, even if you do, like it's hard to fit an MTT session around it. If you're doing night shift, dentists operate during the day. If you're in vampire mode, it's not good. In my case, where we're against the DayWalkers, we're doing day shifts here. It's daytime here in Japan. Like if I get an appointment at like 10 in the morning at the dentist, I think they open around maybe they open at 9:30. So I get an appointment at 9:30. I'm still going to miss all the morning. I'm probably going to have to take the whole day off. And if I get an appointment, like last appointment might be like 5 o'clock. That's not that pretty either because, if I happen to go deep in some tournament that just starts around lunchtime, I could be getting close to final table, and then we're stressing about, we got to go to the dentist soon. Like, it's almost like a whole day off event just to see the dentist. Same with haircuts and stuff. Haircuts maybe not so much because they tend to open a bit later, I think. Does anyone else go through that, or is it just me? Are you guys, someone there just laughing at me, just saying aces up? Your life is too stressful. Just try and take the ace-queen to showdown, and the king-5. Against a fish on this board, I think I just like giving up. Interesting that this guy now fires on the king. This is kind of weird. I mean, the only thing is we block king-queen. He doesn't have ace-king, king-jack. Does he bet king-jack? Maybe. I mean, you wouldn't think that he would get to the river like this and now bet like with an 8 because we could have a king. So I think we have to call once in a while here, and I think I'm going to call this once in a while. And he's got the 7 high. Well done. I'm not sure about this open. I mean, I think it's pretty close. I've really done it because the big blind, he's got around M8, so if we can get in position against the big blind, it's a good result in a knockout tournament like this. Having said that, this guy might jam once in a while. These big stacks might isolate once in a while. It's kind of close. It works out this time. Obviously a really dry board, so I'm just going to bet like small. just under third pot. You could probably go even smaller. Surprised he called. I think it's pretty close here. You could bet again and try and fold out a 5. He's going to have a lot of 5x. But he's also going to have, I think, some ace highs. And, oh my god. He's also going to have some kings. This is so sick here. If he had a bet. I actually think I actually think we win this hand more when he bets. I probably would have called if he bet. Because I think he has like 5-6 a lot, and we just win with 10 high. But now he's checked, he's probably got showdown. I think he's got like queen 5 suited. He has got the king, okay. I mean, I feel like we have showdown with with a 10. We're playing 2 pair. Oh, we're playing 2. I think I'm just gonna call with this hand here, top left. A little bit tricky. Once he checks that flop, I think we probably have the same hand, or we have the best hand a lot. Except for when he has like an ace deuce or something, I guess. Maybe he checks it. So I think checking is the best because I don't know how often he's going to call, and we might have the best hand, and we definitely have the best draw. And I guess now I'm going to check. Because I think he has ace queen, and I don't think he's calling. But he's got ace jack or king jack or just some crap hand that he planned on giving up with that now thinks he needs to bluff, like we just saw a guy do with 7 high. We can get value that way. He had ace 9, so I mean, you could argue for like a tiny little, you know, small baby-sized river bet, but I don't even think he's going to call that just because it's such a bad board run out for him. If he's got ace queen, ace 9, or any ace high, I mean, it's pretty bad. Just bad. He's actually probably got the nut calling hand, like the weakest hand that he might consider calling with because he blocked some straights. But I still don't think he's calling with it. So I think we played it okay. I'm trying to get some value that way, just in case he happens to have ace 3 and decides to bluff, or maybe he had like, you know, I'm trying to think what completely misses the board, not many hands, like 4-5 suited, and he just gave up, and now he's like, well, I guess I'm going to have a bet here to win. Or like I said, if he's hit the jack, I think he bets. So that's why I decided to check it. Yeah. I mean, having said that, I mean, I guess maybe we could bet turn sometimes and hope he's got ace 7 and ace 9 and he calls on a gut shot. I mean, if we bet the right amount, we might be able to get that hand to call. So that's not too bad. But this time I just went for the big checks. Check, check, check. If we had deeper stacks, well, I guess we do have backdoor straight, backdoor flush, bottom pair. I was going to say I might check raise this, but I think I might just call with it. I think he slows down a lot, which is part of the reason why I don't mind calling, because we look like we have a king or a queen when we do this, I think. So I don't think he's going to barrel us relentlessly, especially with this stack depth. We've got like ace 10 now. I feel like we just get to showdown. Having said that, he might just have 6s. He might go for thin value now. He does have 6s. Damn. Damn. That's why I would have check raised it. A bit deeper. Just to deny him equity with a lot of hands. I mean, check calling is fun as well. I'd mix it up. Defend, check. I guess we have to check here. Don't think betting makes tons of sense. think this guy's going to have King Jack a lot, but we're not folding to a small bet there. Hopefully this guy's untrapped us. I feel like this guy's just got maybe queens or jacks, or maybe a big club like ace queen or ace jack with a club. And I don't know, I'm just going to try and get value, but hopefully he doesn't have like ace king and went trappy. Same hand, interesting. Don't mind the way he played it. I say king 10 works out good for us. That's good, because it was a bit of a scary river card. Because I do think some of the times that's actually the stuff that he's being termed with, is those sort of gutser type stuff. Well, actually I had 9-10. So that was a really fishy way to play the hand, wasn't it? I mean, he's kind of turned his hand into a bluff on the turn. He's gone from probably having the best hand on the flop to turning his hand into a bluff on the turn. Like, it just makes absolutely no sense, which is obviously why I've got him marked in purple. I mean, betting the flop is not bad. You know, you probably have the best hand. It needs some protection. It needs quite a lot of protection. I would go ahead and bet his hand quite happily. He did check it, right? I'm like, is he really that stupid? I'm like, did that really just happen? Let me just check. Maybe I'm confused. Did he really check back that flop? Yeah, check. So, I mean, I don't know what he thinks he's doing. Obviously, he should bet flop, and then if he does check flop, the turn card is really bad for him, because, you know, there's going to be a lot of kings in our range. Ace king from this guy, and, you know, all of the king 10s and king jacks. Excuse me, for the guy that opened as well as us. So now definitely he wants to check. He can take a free card, try and bink a straight, or, you know, 2 pair or trips. Instead, now he decides to bet, which was just like backwards thinking. He's probably got his shirt on backwards. He's got like a little breast pocket, but it's on the back, and he's got a pen in it. He probably goes to the shopping center and walks around in it. But yeah, I think it was a bit of a messy way he played that. If he had a bet the flop, depending on his sizing, I mean, with an over and a gutser, I might have called or raised. So we probably would have won the hand anyway. I think I just jam the threes. I mean, we're only having 4 and a bit. It's pretty marginal. But I do feel like it's not impossible that this guy open folds. I mean, he's got M7.5. Like, he might not want to risk his tournament on this hand. Even though he covers us, you know, it would obliterate his stack. Most of the time it's a flip. We do get some fold equity, so that's good. Those small pairs, they play pretty well like that. I mean, a lot of the time when he calls, it'll be a flip anyway. We're short, and we do have some fold equity, so. I guess with the jacks, 24. Trying to think of the best way to play this. 24. It's got like M. Wow, we can just shove now, I guess. Actually, it's actually quite a good spot, I guess. Now it's actually kind of perfect. Perfect. We have the perfect stack size to 4-bet shove. I would have obviously rebet anyway, but I'm just trying to work out sizings and. Cover the cards. I think he's got ace queen. And a call. Calling for sure. What does he have? Nobody knows. And he folds. I thought he would call because it's a bounty, but I mean, I guess it was a fair chunk of his stack. See if we can get some value here. Made a bit of a tight fold on the button there. Mostly just because the guys in the blinds are, oh my god. The guys in the blinds are pretty aggressive defenders. So And 3-betters as well. I think this guy's got enough worse jacks or 5x or 7-8 that we can probably fire again. He will have some 6x, but you know, that's just if he does. I mean, we have flush draw as well. I feel like when he folds quickly on the turn, he just called with like 7s or even like 3s on the flop, some sort of underpair, and now he's just feels like he's reaching that commitment threshold. Maybe he had a gut shot. I'm going to try steal top left. It's a little bit dirty, but there are 2 players sitting out, and it looks pretty strong from UTG. So I'm going to try it. We get pretty good leverage against most of the stacks, but it's kind of risky. Especially now the big blind just sat back in. Damn it. There's always that risk that they come back. But I think just the fact that it was not 9-handed, it was 7-handed, but it looks 9-handed, you know, people aren't thinking it's 7-handed. I mean, I just think it plays good. I'm going to limp the ace-king here. I feel like Fred would probably isolate us a fair bit. He's pretty fishy aggressive and he's Brazilian. Also, it's a bounty, so he might just sort of start splashing around. Wow, that is a pretty good... As far as flops go, I mean, that is about as good as it gets for 4s. Having said that, I spoke too soon. He's probably got 9 queen offsuit. Folds. I think against a small bet by Fred, we're kind of locked into calling here at this point, the way we've played the hand. It's obviously a bad card. Yeah. It's funny how things work out top left. Like, we've just won enough chips off this player last hand that now it's like... I guess it wasn't that many chips. But now we just shove this hand, I guess. Did we win that hand? What do you have? Bottom pair? Yeah, bottom pair, 2-4. I don't mind the way he played it. I think it's okay. I mean, I want to protect my limping range. If there's a player who can spaz out, it's definitely Fred. It's a bit of a spew monkey. Wow, that's a pretty scary card. I think I'm just going to not slow down. I mean, they could have Jack Queen. Oh, well. Maybe we should slow down. Yeah, maybe we should. I might just bet here. I mean, if this guy's got an 8, he might shove. I was in 2 minds about betting and checking. Actually, maybe check. I should have checked. I was just trying to think what to do, and then the time bank was expiring. So I went for just betting, since I'm c-betting that board a lot anyway, but... we kind of probably missed value there, but... I might limp here. I don't want to get raised off the hand. And if the small blind jams, we can call for the bounty. Play it this way. Hopefully this guy's got king high or something. I think. Yeah, okay, good. Oh, just donks into us? That's disrespectful. It's disrespectful, I'm all in. That's how the emotional guys think. You donking into me, I'm all in. That's how some of these emotional guys play the game. They get angry. You disrespect me, you disrespect my family. I'm all in. It's like check raising the flop. Some people just, their brain, you can feel it pulsating and just, you can see it swelling and then poof, just pops. Pops like a slain vampire when they just explode everywhere. They can't handle it. Emotional beasts. Or M5 and an M6 jams button. I guess we have to call. Yes. 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 No. Yes. All right. Back up to M12. I mean, that feels good, you know. It's nice to have a handhold up. It's good. It feels good. It feels special right now. Feel pretty good, you know, like your mother tells you you're the best in the world at something when you do, you know, finish a picture and it's like, wow, that's so good. You're such a good drawer. When in reality, like, you're like 10 years old, but your drawing is like that of like a 5-year-old. But you still feel good. That's how I feel after winning that pot. I think just because we haven't won pots, very many pots, you know. Today has been so tough, you know. I've just been losing every all-in, key all-ins, non-key all-ins, anything to do with a key and a lock. I just haven't been able to win any hands. Quick break, guys. I'll be right back with more action shortly.